welcome into this week's board check. I am Jeremy the Impact York, joining you once again from the amazing man cave we have here. Trust me, after the season, we're going to do some fun stuff this summer. We're going to really jazz this place up. It's going to look a lot different than it looks like now. Trust me, I will not be in this little closet that we are currently in. But lots of stuff we want to get into. I'm going to talk about the playoffs currently going on, both matchups in the East, both matchups in the West. We're going to talk a little NHL draft, tell you some of the prospects, tell you some of the order, because they actually figured that out the other day. But right now, I want to start by talking about the East Coast, because the East Coast is the best coast, as I call it. But the East Coast has got two of the better matchups, and that happens to be the game on right now. Right now, currently, Game 4 for the Washington versus Pittsburgh series is on. And is that somewhere? Okay, that is a 1-0 currently. 1-0, 1-0 for you soccer fans. Where Patrick Hornquist actually has the lone goal in that one. There's about 6 minutes or so to go in the first period. Pittsburgh does lead this series 2-1. And to me, even barring what I'm going to talk about right after this, I think it's going to take a miracle, and it's going to take a lot more than Alex Ovechkin and Braden Holtby to keep Washington in this. I think Pittsburgh is all but won this series. Probably after tonight, they'll be up 3-1, unless just something miraculous happens. And I don't know what happens. The Capitals do so well in the regular season, and then they get to the playoffs, and they do this. This is the second or third time they've done this. If I'm Ovechkin, I consider moving on, because they're not putting a team around you that can win. And it's not just him. I mean, there's a lot of great talent on this team, but it's just not happening. Not happening at all. Now, as far as the Pittsburgh's like Chicago. They're there pretty much every year. They've been able to build big teams. They've been able to win multiple cups with and without Sidney Crosby. And right now they're without Sidney Crosby, because after the cross-check he took to the head the other night, I believe that guy was ejected. I don't know if he should be suspended. Look, we all know I'm not the world's biggest Sidney Crosby fan. I respect the hell out of what that guy does. He is, between him and Ovechkin, are the two best in the league. You heard me say that right. Even though I'm not a fan of the guy, he is one of the two best in this league. Talent-wise, vision-wise, he has just unteachable skills. He sees the ice in ways that you can't teach somebody. You couldn't take even a 4-year-old and teach him for 20 years. Hey, I need you to look at things this way. I need you to look at things this way. I need you to look at things. You just can't teach some of the stuff that he does. It's just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Ovechkin is just an overall just great talent player. To me, he's a little better. But, I can't even fault Crosby for whining. He hasn't whined a whole lot this year. I've said that multiple times. I've actually enjoyed watching him play. It really, really is terrible that he got another concussion, because he has a bad history of them, and he's kind of on his way to being the next Eric Lindros. And I hate that, because I was a huge Lindros fan growing up, but those concussions just did a number on him. Hopefully he responds pretty well with this. The thing with a concussion, I've said this on a lot of different shows, I'm going to say it again. A concussion is a bruise to the brain. Now, unlike other bruises, because I could even have a bruise on my face, I could have one on my hand. I mean, actually, let me see. There we go. You guys see? Yeah. Apparently, if an oven is on, it's hot. Whoops, my bad. Good thing to know, though, the pizza was fine. It was fantastic. Anyway, bruises. That bruise will go away. In fact, my hand's not hurting at all. Got a bruise on my arm. Not hurting at all. Not hurting at all, right? You can have bruises all over for different reasons, various reasons. Good or bad. Hopefully more good than bad. But a bruise to the brain, here's how that needs to heal. On its own, there's no way to really, they haven't really figured out a way to speed up that process. You can't just take a Tylenol. You can't just take an Advil and leave. You can't just take even an antibiotic or something like that. It has to heal. Sometimes from the inside out, sometimes from the outside in, as far as the brain bruise and everything. And until that does, sometimes you can't sleep. You definitely can't drive a vehicle, but it just makes so many things, plus the headache, so bad that it's hard to contend with. So hopefully Crosby gets better, not just so he can play, but just in general, because I don't want him to be the next Lindros. And I hate that Lindros is that new measuring stick, but that's just how it is. So, but, leading into this series, it seems like Pittsburgh always finds a way, always finds a different guy. This time, this Hornquist, there's just no no telling who the hero could be. Malkin will probably step up. It's crazy that Marc-Andre Fleury is playing as well as he is based off the injury. I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be in town. They tried to run him out, remember? And now he's probably one of the best reasons why they're doing as well as they are. The way it's looking right now, I'll get into the other matchup, but they're probably going to move on to the next round. And they, at this point, if they beat Washington, they got to be the front runner to take the whole thing. I mean, there's a couple teams in the West, plus, you know, there's a team in the East I think that could beat them. This is going to be a really, really tight contest. So, you know, like I said, unless something crazy happens, I don't expect Crosby back for this series. And unless something even crazier happens, I don't expect Washington to win this series. They're probably going to lose it 4-2. I think Pittsburgh wins tonight. I think during the next, can we get when? We'll see when the next game is. The next game, of course, would be Saturday, 7:15 on NBC. Man, that's going to be a fun game right there. Game 5. Like I said, I think Washington's going to lose tonight. They're going to go down 3-1. I think they're going to win Saturday. And then looks like Monday would be Game 6. That, of course, would be in Pittsburgh, and I think Pittsburgh will close it out in Game 6, and that's actually my prediction on that. I'm going to say Pittsburgh in 6. Game 6 is in Pittsburgh. So, moving on. We got Ottawa versus the New York Rangers. Now, we all know my affinity for the New York Rangers, on top of my affinity, obviously, for the Boston Bruins. I do think, this is an unbiased opinion, I do think New York can win this series. They've got to continue to play physical and tough against Ottawa, who is a bunch of pests, a bunch of pesky guys. And for the most part, if they can keep Pajot off the scoring board, I think they can win. Because besides Pajot, Ottawa just needs offense. They are struggling to do so. I think he scored 5 or 6 goals of the 10 or so they have, if they have that many, and that's only because they had 6 the other night, including the overtime winner from him. He had 4 in the same game. Congratulations to him on that. But Ottawa just plays very speedy and very pesky, and that's, I mean, they're like the annoying little brother, except for the little brother's same size as you are. It's, you know, the next game they play is tomorrow night. That's Thursday with a 7:30 p.m. puck drop on that one. Like I said, this whole series is very, very physical. Very physical. It's the type of throwback series that you really enjoy. I know I have really enjoyed it. I've actually enjoyed it more than the Washington-Pittsburgh series. And I mean, who knows? This could go 6 games. You could easily go 7. My prediction, I'm going to say that the Rangers are going to win this. Yeah, I think Ottawa wins one more game. So they're going to win this in 6 as well. I don't know when Game 6 is. Can we get that schedule pulled back up? Thank you. Let's see. They play tomorrow night at 7:30, like I said. They would play Game 5 in Ottawa. That is on Saturday at 3 p.m. start on that one on NBCSN. Game 6, if necessary, would be in New York. And that would be Tuesday. And then Thursday if they needed it. But I think they close out next Tuesday in New York. That conveniently works out there. When I come back, we're going to talk a little bit of NHL draft. A little bit of news. I'll tell you some of the fun things with that, like the order and like some of the top prospects. And then we'll close it out by talking about the West. We'll be right back after this. Period number 2, board check. We're back here for a period number 2 of Board Check. I am Jeremy the Impact York. Welcome back. Right now I want to talk a little bit about the NHL Draft. Now, let me just, let's go into the order here. Now, of course, they determined the order for the first 15 picks. Picks 16 through 31 will be set based on the Stanley Cup playoffs. But, you know, I'm just going to go through the first handful of them because, you know, it's probably all you guys are worried about. The number 1 overall pick this year will go to the New Jersey Devils. Congratulations on that. It's kind of a lottery system is the way they figure all this out. Philadelphia Flyers get number 2. The Dallas Stars get number 3. Colorado Avalanche get number 4. Vancouver Canucks get number 5. And rounding out the top 6, the Vegas Golden Knights are actually going to get their first overall draft pick there. Now, I know what you guys were thinking. Nope. This is actually a pink tie. No, you guys are actually thinking, well, does it matter about having the first overall pick? All right, well, let me read you some of the previous ones in the last 10 years or so. You tell me how good these players actually are. I'm going to start in 2001. Right here, the local Atlanta Thrashers, who are now the Winnipeg Jets. Number 1 overall, they got left winger Ilya Kovalchuk. Rick Nash went to Columbus next. Marc-Andre Fleury to Pittsburgh. Alex Ovechkin to Washington. Sidney Crosby to Pittsburgh. Eric Johnson to St. Louis. Chicago got Patrick Kane. Tampa Bay got Steven Stamkos. John Tavares to the Islanders. Taylor Hall to the Oilers. New Jersey got Adam Larson. Nail Yakupov went to Edmonton. Colorado got Nathan McKinnon. Aaron Ekblad to Florida. Connor McDavid to Edmonton. And last year, Austin Matthews to Toronto. Yeah, every one of those perennial all-stars, every one of those damn awesome players. I can say that, it's my show. Who are the top ones this year? Well, I can tell you right now some of the names, and then I'll go through some of the other ones, because some of these are as new to me as they are to you. I'm still reading up on some of these guys, but I do know some of these here. Tons of centers up top. Nico Hischier, I believe is how you say his name. He's considered the one of the top players, except for Nolan Patrick, who seems to be the number 1 consensus currently. Casey Mittelstadt, Gabriel Velarde, Michael Rasmussen. Let's go through some of these other ones. Cody Glass, Owen Tippett, Eeli Tolvanen, Cale Makar, and Nick Suzuki. Those guys are all in the AHL, WHL, some of the other leagues as well. Playing on some really good teams like Sioux City, Windsor, Eden Prairie. You know, some of the guys from Europe you should keep your eyes on. Clem Costin, Elias Peterson, Leos Anderson, Miro Heiskanen. Man, I'm doing so good with these. Martin Nikos, and you know, that's who knows? That could be one of them calling in now. Well, can we check out who that is? It's all right. Apparently that's not Nail Yakupov either. Okay, maybe it's Taylor Hall. Taylor, we'd love you to call in. Go ahead and call in. Let me throw out some goalie names while we're at it. Some goalie names like Boston University goalie Jake Edinger, Keith Petruzzelli, Keith Petruzzelli. Man, one day I'll get that right. He's from Muskegon. From Prince Albert, you got Ian Scott. Too bad it's not Scott Ian. And Michael DiPietro from Windsor. Also, some European goalies. Keep your name on here. I'm just throwing these out because any of these guys could go first. Usually the goalies go a little further down, but you got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He plays over in the Finland Junior League. From the Sweden Junior League, you got Olli Eriksson-Ek. And you got Adam Amon. And then Yuri Patera out of the Czech Republic Junior League. So there's some of the names that you might hear on draft night. And, you know, pretty much I think the last thing you guys want to know is when is this draft? Well, the first round of the 7-round 2017 NHL draft will take place Friday, June 23rd in Chicago. Ooh. There's a chance I might be in town then. I may have to go check that out. If I'm not, I will do some sort of story from up there, and you guys will enjoy it. Rounds 2 through 7 will be held Saturday, June 24th, but you know, that could be a lot of fun. It could definitely be a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for period number 2. Just want to talk a little bit of draft. Want to throw some names out, tell you guys some of the order. You can go to NHL.com or you can Google search it, I believe is what we did. And you can figure out when your team picks. And obviously as they get eliminated out of the playoffs, they will stack up the way that other ones do as well. When we come back for period number 3, I'm going to talk some NHL West and finish up the playoff talk for now. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the break right here on Board Check. And we're back for period number 3 right here on Board Check. Jeremy the Impact York, welcome back to the man closet. I swear we're doing renovations. You guys are going to like some of the stuff we're going to do. Actually, we're going to bring back some fun stuff we did in the first 2 seasons we've done here. You guys are going to enjoy it. Going to have some other guests coming up here soon. Like I said, like I usually say, I cannot say names yet because they're not officially official. But you guys are going to like some of the people we're going to have on. But I told you guys we're going to close up by talking about the West Coast games in the Western Conference there. Let's start with St. Louis and Nashville. Nashville leads this series 3-1. Game 5 will be Friday at 8 p.m. Should be a fun one. I'm going to try to catch that one. I'm actually going to be a little out of town. I'm going to try to catch that one on because that one could be a lot of fun. I actually think Nashville could close it out, and if they don't, they'll close it out in Game 6. I mean, they pretty much have 3 games to win 1. And St. Louis is playing as hard as they can, but Nashville is absolutely hammering top teams. They've swept Chicago. They're up 3-1 on St. Louis. St. Louis is no slouch. They're a good team. Pekka Rinne is, if he's not the league MVP, then they need to throw that trophy away because he is playing just absolutely out of his mind. And, at this point, Boston's out. I'm good with Nashville winning. I know you guys are good as well. So, hey, go Nashville, right? Now, who could they play? Because, like I said, I think they're going to win. If they don't win in Game 5, they'll win in Game 6. I'm going to say they're going to win in 5, honestly. Who would they play? Well, they'd play the winner of Anaheim and Edmonton, where Edmonton actually leads that one 2-1. Game 4 is going to be 10 p.m. later tonight, probably about a little after this show post, a little bit later on tonight. You guys, hopefully you watch the show and then you catch that because you'll know what's going to happen. So far, the weird thing about this series is whoever the away team is, well, they win. It's really weird. Edmonton won the first 2 games. Anaheim won the 3rd game. All of them on the road. It's youth and speed at its absolute best, whether it's Edmonton or Anaheim. They both have fantastic players. A lot of youth, a lot of speed. It's a lot of fun. These are really good series. It's like watching Nashville play Nashville. Pretty much. Silverberg is pretty much carrying the load for Anaheim. He has scored a majority of their goals. They've got to find some more production. They've got to find a way to stop the Predators' attack because their attack is just unreal. It is fantastic. How the series go, I actually think Anaheim's going to battle back a little bit. I'm going to actually say this goes, it's going to go 6 games too. I had the 2 East games going 6. I have the Nashville, St. Louis going 5. I'm going to say this one goes 6, and Edmonton's going to pull out the victory, and that one they're going to win 4-2. Definitely need to check out tonight. You get people like Connor McDavid, who I just mentioned, was first overall last year, and it looks like he's the new Ovechkin Crosby. I mean, this kid's unbelievable. Plus, Edmonton's got all kinds of other stars. Anaheim's got a bunch of different great ones as well. I mean, this is the best part about the playoffs is you see some of the best players playing at their absolute highest. And I don't know about you, but there's not much better thing than watching playoff hockey. If you can see it live, that's even better, but even on TV, it's fantastic. DVR it, go back and watch it again. I've watched a couple games a couple different times, and I've actually gotten, the good thing is like when my little nieces and nephews are in town, we watch hockey. I'm getting them started early. You guys should get them started early, but that's going to do it for me tonight. So shout out to the Atlanta Gladiators, shout out to the Boston Bruins, shout out to all you guys who make this fun each and every week. I promise you guys we are going to do some fun things after the playoffs, and hopefully we'll get some of these guests on because you guys are going to enjoy them. But I'm Jeremy the Impact York. Thanks for joining us right here on Board Check. Remember, go watch hockey.